Hey guys, it's Dutchy here bringing you some more Stormgate action. This time we got something a little different. We've got ourselves a 2v2. I believe these maps are either on the ladder or they have been slightly modified from ladder as the map maker is looking to improve them. I think Jtamm made these maps, and when I say these maps, there's going to be a second game after this. So let's get into it. Something quick before we get started. It's warm colors versus cool colors. So the blue and light blue are on the same team, and the red and the, I'll call it orange, are on the same team. So we've got Jtamm1988 and Playweird on the same team. So this is Jtamm, here's Playweird, Playweird's Infernal, Jtamm is Vanguard. In the bottom left, we've got Double Down Madness, which is JayXP as Vanguard. And we've got up here in the top left, we've got Noveastar as Infernal. So we got some nice Vanguard Infernal versus Vanguard Infernal action. Pretty sweet. Now this is an interesting 2v2 map because the players aren't in a connected base type of situation. We've got them in the four corners of the map. You saw them talking a little bit about the Hornets in the beginning, and if you're wondering what that was, is I believe Jtamm had some Hornets as part of the map editor just to test how units moved around the map and everything, and he accidentally left them in the map. And so when players started, one of them started with a Hornet. So this is kind of a redo, I think, of their games from before, where there is no starting Hornet. It was pretty funny, obviously very broken, but also supply blocking the player. They couldn't build any workers. It was very silly. So here we go. We've got Jtamm doing his, patent Jtamm one base opening. He's a big fan of doing some barracks, harass before grabbing that second base. And we've got a Lancer moving across the map here, heading towards JayXP's base. Okay, the Lancer is chopping away at the dog a little bit. The dog is just trying to buy some time here before the Lancer hits. JayXP, meanwhile, has fast expanded, so the Lancer is in here trying to be as annoying as possible, try to slow down this fast expand and equal things out a little bit. Meanwhile, Jtamm has started to fast expand behind this, so he's hoping that this will do enough damage and slow JayXP down enough to kind of make up for the fact that he didn't fast expand. So far, JayXP with a stellar defense hasn't lost a single worker, didn't even have to pull off his barracks production, was able to keep everything flowing with some nice repair action. Oh, that Lancer just body blocking the Lancer from Jtamm from getting out. And it seems like Jtamm's probably going to run home with this one. Will he run home with that one too? Yes, he will. Seeing that there's enough Lancers to push him away, he's not going to get anything done, and he wants to focus on his own base and macro probably for the moment. Meanwhile, Jay is saying, well, you know what? You came over here, I'm going to chase you back. Now we've got Playweird helping Jtamm out, but Jtamm's not turning around, leaving his buddy behind here to fight on his own. Probably busy macroing at home. Meanwhile, what's Noveastar been up to? Kind of quiet in terms of the interaction from her. But she's up here macroing, saying, all right, you guys want to duke it out? I'm going to grab a 3-base. Screw you guys. I'm going to macro. And JayXP doing a great job just kind of holding off both players on his own, allowing her to do that. Now, in 2v2, two Stormgates can spawn at once, which is happening in this case. So it seems like the cool team, I'll call them, is going for the center one, while JayXP by himself for the hot team is taking this one. I would have loved to see them deny this because, they had two players going for one Stormgate. I just don't think that was necessary. So I'll be a little critical here and say, why didn't you guys push him off of this one? You didn't need both of you to take that middle one, but, we're all still learning how 2v2 works. Now Noveastar coming over here saying, you know what? You're not going to bully my buddy 2v1. I'm going to come and help. But we've got cool team Farron blowing up the hot team Farron, so that is the cool team working well together to at least not allow Jtamm to get his Stormgate reward. So I kind of take it back, who cares if he got the Stormgate if you can kill the reward before they get any value out of it. Very nice job, cool team. I take it back, you guys are perfect, don't listen to me. Over here we've got Noveastar with Ritual Chamber and Hellforge, like I said, just macroing and teching up. So very good. She also has a very nice looking army here. Looking at the supplies, she has a slightly Jtamm right on the backside of that with also a nice 60 supply. But, you know, 2 bases and a slower 2 base. She went fast 2 base, so supplies might be even, but I have a feeling Noveastar is going to continue to crawl ahead, and look at that. Getting ahead, like I said. Playweird catching up a little bit on supply. And Jtamm with the lowest supply, but that's only because he's grabbing a 3rd base, so his army supply will catch up. He was also supply blocked for a second there, but not a big deal. He's not floating a big bank. A little bit of gas, but not a big deal. I'm sure he'll use it soon enough. Over here we've got some cool team versus, you know, orange, and I'm going to have to refer to it that way. It's a little bit easier for me to say that instead of their names all the time. But we've got a little bit of a 2v1 scenario. Some of the units getting left behind, though. The Farah not doing anything. Jtamm getting into make. This is crazy. We got ourselves a good old 2v2 battle here. But it looks like Novea's army is so big with the Lancers from Jtamm or JayXP in front. I mean, it's going to easily push this back. These Exos do not want to run. Jtamm doing kiting as best he can, trying to, you know, get the value. That's a Jtamm thing. He loves his Exo ball and kiting. This is where Jtamm is looking for value. But Noveastar just chasing him up the ramp. Lots of low health breach though. Jtamm can finish those off. That'll be very good. There he goes. Look at that. There's the stutter step. Good job, Jtamm. Getting some great value. And look at that. He's actually done such a good job with that kiting that he got himself into the supply lead. Very nice job. Good work, Jtamm. Meanwhile, what's been happening, the players are all pretty even on supply, and this is what I meant. JayXP is going to catch up on supply as soon as this 3rd base economy starts kicking in. Whew, need to take a breath. There's so much to comment on these 2v2s. I almost need a second caster. You know, maybe that's something for me to think about in the future. Looking here, we've got the cool team over here healing up in this low ground healing shrine. This is very interesting. I like that. Seems like a pit of death, but it's kind of like a fountain of youth at the same time. Very interesting. It's funny that the ramps are on both sides. I like it. I'm going to roll with it. And we've got 2 Stormgates fighting. This time they are doing what I said in the beginning, splitting up a little bit. How does the hot team respond here? Let's see. They are staying together, but they're too late to this one. So now Jay is over here saying, you know what? I'm going to take Jtamm on. But no, he backs off and he says, I'm going to help my buddy Noveastar over here. She looks like she wants to get this Stormgate. I'm not going to let their team get both. Jtamm says he's on the way. Oh boy, we got a big battle. This is a nicely spaced out area. The armies are not getting too stuck on each other. I think that's something to keep in mind for 2v2 maps, as you've got 4 armies instead of 2 fighting. You definitely want that extra space. Good job on the map design on that part, Jtamm. Looking like a really fun map, you know? Despite the players starting really far apart, the bases have started to get connected. I really think this is cool, man. This is very nicely designed. Now, the cool team did get both rewards, and they got, well, I don't even know what they got from the first one, but they did get a Dark Throne here, which is a free base. Can I figure out? Oh, he got the Vile Lurker. Of course he did. I saw that. So, very good job by the cool team to get both. Oh, now I see what JayXP's been up to. He was rushing Graven and using the sticky bomb. So cool to see Gravens. We don't see that much, and that's a cool thing about 2v2. They can lean a little bit into the heavier units to, or into the units that you don't see as much, maybe, so that we can, you know, get a little bit more attention on those units, because, yeah, we don't see these that much in 1v1. Very cool. There's another sticky bomb. That's going to help Noveastar fight Jtamm. JayXP over here. So we got Inferno Fighting Vanguard and Inferno Fighting Vanguard. And, you know, the sticky bombs really seem to be pushing the cool team back. It's, wow. Look at that, putting in work, and now Noveastar is able to get on top of Jtamm. Meanwhile, over here, I'm going to zoom out, see if I can get both battles. We've got, man, Noveastar really crushing Jtamm's army there. But then Jtamm helping his buddy Playweird before Noveastar got into the picture, forcing JayXP back for the moment. But they're just fighting around these ramps. Noveastar has got, I think, Miasma's ready. I haven't been, yep, there it is. Miasma and Sticky Bomb. Boy, that is a super scary sounding combination, because the Miasma does tons of damage, and the Sticky Bombs are not going to let you run out of that. So, man, I have a feeling that the hot team is about to just blow this game wide open with this combination here. Miasma's going through, very nice. I do wish they were team colors, but maybe someday. Fighting him by Jtamm. Playweird's got his army kind of split up here. Oh, being pushed into the corner here. I'm hearing mines, but I don't see them. Noveastar's army is just very big, and look at the supply difference from the hot team versus the cold team here. It does seem like letting go of those first Stormgates and allowing their tech and macro to get ahead is starting to pay off dividends. We got Playweird with some Hellborns here. That will certainly help a lot. Meanwhile, over here, we do see, yeah, these two Shroud Stones still get to survive. I'm a little surprised about that. But the Graven's dashing in and doing their sticky bombs. They missed that time, but still forcing the cool team back. Nice combination of abilities from the hot team here. And look at the map. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bases, 1, 2, 3, 4 bases versus 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is starting to snowball in the hot team's favor. Noveastar and JayXP seem to have worked out a nice strategy here. They are ganging up on Jtamm here. I think they smell some blood in the water. They are pushing hard. Playweird is not reacting quite yet to the situation, but oh man, look at this wall of terrain for him to get around. I don't think he's going to get here in time. The damage is done. Jtamm's army is very low on supply. He's fighting 2v1 over here a little bit. JayXP saying, Novea, you got this. I helped you do enough damage. You go over here and do as much as you can. I'm going to go over here and try to break Jtamm's economy. Remember, he does have the Gravens. He can get out this way pretty easily. He can dash out over any sort of obstacle. Over here, Noveastar buying the time that she can. Now, these Spriggans from Playweird are a great idea because Noveastar really has no anti-air. So these Spriggans are doing their thing. Jtamm saying, no, he must have gotten sticky bombed or something. JayXP found Jtamm's base over here, landing the sticky bombs, and boom, boom, boom. Oh my god, that was sick. Just blowing up the worker line. That was crazy. Oh man, this is just going downhill for the cool team. This has to be Game Friend. Now they're saying Game Friend. I think it's JayXP. I'm not 100% sure anymore. I thought it was JayXP. Forgive me if I'm getting mixed up. I'm going to stick with my guns and say it was JayXP. I don't know though, you guys. But that is what my gut tells me. Either way, strong Vanguard players. Zoom back in a little maybe, because this is the only battle happening. We got the Hellborn fighting against the Brutes. We got the Spriggans pushing back against these Spriggans are doing great, but then Shadowfires came in and wiped. Jay's back in here, killing Jtamm's base. The Vulcan is not going to do enough, but I respect the attempt to try to tech up. Jtamm taps out, Playweird taps out. That is the end of game 1. GG, well played. Victory goes to Noveastar and JayXP, the hot team. On to game 2. Alright, game number 2. This time on the cool team, we have got Jtamm and JayXP, I'll call them the Jays, are on the same team. So we got ourselves a good old Vanguard versus Infernal matchup here. And in the bottom right, we've got Playweird and Noveastar on the same team this time. And this map is very different than the last one. This time the two players are spawning right next to each other. You know, rubbing elbows, bumping into each other a little bit. It's pretty clear that this is going to be Noveastar's base, and this is going to be I'm going to keep getting this mixed up because they were on different teams. This is going to be Playweird's, Noveastar's red. So this is going to be Noveastar's second base, and this is going to be Playweird's second base. Sorry, it gets a little confusing when the colors get mixed up. Then we've got Jtamm in the dark blue, the only consistent color on from last game, and we've got JayXP, Double Down Madness, taking the second base over here. So, again, like I said, Jtamm with his patent one barracks opener style, and JayXP doing the same thing as last game as well, getting that second base, and he's probably going to do something like 3 barracks. Let's see if he goes Graven again. Over here, we just have a second base from Playweird, no production yet, whereas Noveastar has gotten a 1-1 after the fast expand, and it makes sense that there was no production from Playweird because he is grabbing his third base. Now, this shrine isn't done yet, which means he doesn't have effigy energy yet, but I suppose Noveastar could give him the effigy. Maybe that would be a cool thing to see teammates do. You know, this base isn't done yet. There you go, Noveastar. There you go. Oh, wait, that was Playweird. Oh, it must have been from this base that just finished. But I think Noveastar, next time she could hook him up with that. Just thinking out loud here. We've got the Lancer here from Jtamm doing some chop, chop, chop. Trying to make it annoying, forcing Noveastar to throw down this Tribute Pyre. Disclaimer, she does not want or need this Tribute Pyre yet. So actually Jtamm forcing that and not and Noveastar not canceling that has actually paid off a little bit, because that imp should have been mining, but now instead it has built a supply that she doesn't need yet. So good job Jtamm doing some damage. Is he gonna lose a Lancer for it? Yep, so damage has been returned. So Noveastar fighting back. Good job killing that Lancer. That helps make this Tribute Pyre less of a loss. And I saw a dog in here, but the dog really didn't do much. It got chased away. Thought it was a fiend for a minute. I got very confused. I said Vanguard doesn't have fiends. Over here, we have got the third base from JayXP done. So doing a very similar style as last game. Last game, he actually did 3 barracks before the third base, but that was probably a little bit because he was under attack. This game, he has not been under attack. Jtamm has been putting on pressure for him, and he said, okay, I will go 3 base while you annoy them with your Lancers. Very smart strategy. Getting good value, min-maxing as one should. Over here, what do we have? Looking at the supplies, all very even from everybody. But I gotta point out that it's 5 base versus... Oh, it is 5 base versus 5 base. Very interesting start. So what do we got here? We got just a single Stormgate spawning this time. Remember, I said you can have 2 Stormgates spawn in 2v2, but it's RNG. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 1, and you don't know which ones they're gonna be. So this one is smack dab in the middle. I love this detail around this thing. Very cool. I think he scaled that up. It's a really cool vibe. Jtamm has been working very hard on these 2v2 maps, you guys, and I think he's done a great job. He's put a lot of time and effort into 2v2 maps. We really didn't have a template to go off of. I mean, maybe other RTSs for some inspiration, but we didn't have any 2v2 maps because Stormgate didn't have 2v2, and so he's working, you know, with limited information, and, you know, give the map maker some credit, guys, especially Jtamm for all his work on these 2v2 maps. Great job. Thank you for all your hard work, Jtamm. We appreciate it very much, dude. Give him some love if you run into him on ladder. Give him some love in the Discord. Give him some love on Reddit, wherever you see him. Give your map makers some love, you guys. These maps take a long time to build. Thank you, Jtamm. Keep up the great work, dude. Okay. Going back over here, back to the game. We've got Noveastar grabbing her 3rd base. Not saturated yet, but she said, you say 3 base. I'm going to say 4 base. Who cares about saturation? She must have been floating a little resources and said, when in Rome, spend that gold. That's not how the saying goes, but we're having fun here. Okay. We've got, taking a look at the supplies, still all pretty even. Very nice. I gotta say, I'm loving how these 2v2s are happening. They don't feel wild, they don't feel out of control, but they do feel wacky and fun. I've played a couple 2v2s myself. Disclaimer, I'm not a big 2v2 player. It's not my cup of tea. I like 1v1. I'm a diehard 1v1 player, but I have played a couple 2v2s, and I gotta tell you guys, I actually enjoyed them. You know, and that's saying a lot when somebody isn't really a big fan of playing 2v2. So these 2v2s have been very fun, very casual, yet competitive, a nice mix of things. When you lose a 2v2, it's like, oh, whatever, we had fun, you know. It's just a little bit more chill. At the end of a long night of laddering, sometimes you want to play a little bit more Stormgate, but you don't want to, you know, go full sweaty, try hard. What's better than 2v2 for something like that? Okay, Lone Lancer gets turned into a fiend, and the fiend gets obliterated with the men with gun. Alright, we've got ourselves Noveastar sticking to her Brute Gaunt Hexen, and I think Hexen makes a lot of sense. I think splash damage, AoE, that is a funny spot for a mine. AoE is very, very good in large battles like this. There's a lot of units. So having splash damage, you're more likely to hit, you know, big targets, big clumps of units. I think splash damage is going to be something we're going to see a lot of. You know, and JayXP thinking the same thing. You know, grave and sticky bombs, man. There's lots of targets for that. Let's hit them. Now Noveastar laying down a whole group of Phantom Traps. Now for those of you who don't already know, Phantom Traps got changed in the current patch. They now spawn a Fiend or Phantom for every unit in range of the trap. There you go, you see 3 Fiends spawn. That was a little hard to see because it happened so quick. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. The sticky bomb's doing their thing. Jay saying back up, or Jtamm saying back up. Probably because he's down here doing damage and he's telling Jay, hey, be careful, don't overcommit here by yourself. But JayXP just controlling this battle like it's no problem, while Jtamm is putting on the damage here. These sticky bombs just manipulate the fight to such a high degree. It really makes it hard for the Infernals to catch him and punish him. So Jtamm was able to take out a base, was able to make Noveastar pull workers. She hasn't put him back yet, so Jtamm putting on the pressure and getting value out of it. And we've got this base at half HP. Meanwhile, I want to say the hot team. Yep, the hot team was able to win the Stormgate. No surprise, it was 2v1. But meanwhile, JayXP is continuing to lay down the sticky bombs here, and it kind of looks like I'm watching at slow motion when the units are sticky bombed. But nope, that's just sticky bombs slowing units down. All right, I'm gonna zoom back in here. Battle is one screenable, and you know what I would like to see from some of these Infernals? I'm just gonna speak out loud here and say, Gravens get hard countered by Weavers. Weavers can stealth detect, and they can pull in the Gravens, and when the Graven gets pulled in, they can get obliterated. So, if you want to punish Gravens, you definitely want to think of Weavers. Over here, we do see Jtamm and JayXP uniting their armies, saying, hey, we feel pretty strong right now. You know, I did some economic damage. You were doing pretty good on your own versus 2 armies, Jay. So, why don't I come help you? So the 2 Jays working together. Look at that damage, and oh my god. That seems so good versus Infernal. Like, what can they even do? I guess they need the Death March from the Dominari, because that does cleanse. And so, maybe there's an angle there. Over here, Jtamm doing great damage and does end up taking down that base. So, JayXP really abusing the sticky bombs and not letting himself get caught, allowing Jtamm to just do whatever he wants over here. So again, here we go, we got a Weaver now. Can we see a pull on a, oh, he doesn't have the energy. Doesn't have enough energy yet. He needs 50 energy, I think, for a pull. I can't remember the exact number. There's a pull. There you go. So, just like I said, you saw that Graven get pulled. Maybe when you see Graven, you switch to those Weavers as quick as possible. All right, I'm going to zoom out again. Okay, some more sticky bombs landing. And both players get slowed when they run over the sticky bomb, but only the enemy takes damage from them. So just JayXP really abusing the Gravens, getting tons of value out of them. Very nice. It's fun to see all those Gravens. Now we do see a heck of a bank build up, and that tells me that the cool team is very far ahead. We look at the supply very far ahead, and we got a bank build up. Walking into those mines, they did do some nice damage. Even actually hurting some of the Graven pretty good, but we've got MedTech here healing them up. The mines are cool with the Phantom Traps because they reveal the Gravens too, and that's something, you know, they're stealthy. So getting some of that reveal is really nice. Over here, landing the sticky bombs and dashing back. Really messing up these Magmadons. Oh man, talk about a Magmadon counter. We're not going to do anything with that. Meanwhile, over here, we've got Noveastar fighting Jtamm. I'm not seeing any miasmas, but over here, we've got JayXP fighting off Playweird. We got Jtamm nicely using the high ground to push back Noveastar. Noveastar's supply is starting to dwindle, and I think that had a lot to do with Jtamm's damage over here and over here, while JayXP was abusing the sticky bombs with the Graven, and I think this is just going to be something that Jay knows I can't deal with Gravens, so there you go. You definitely need, no one can, they say. You definitely need Weavers. That's the only way, but man, that is a lot of Graven. How many Weavers would you even need? Boy, it's very tricky. Very tricky. And Noveastar, GG's out. Jtamm is overwhelming her here. Playweird is doing a pretty good job versus JayXP, but I don't think he has what it takes. Noveastar's left. Playweird hasn't left yet, but I think, there we go, Playweird is also now bowing out. GG. So Jay won both games. and the other players each won one game, I think. Anyway, good game, everybody. Thanks for the 2v2s. I hope you all had fun watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.